Imagine having a life controlled by sleeping disorders. It tears apart families. My wife and I have to sleep in different rooms because my snoring stops her from sleeping. Being so stressed that sleep never comes. It affects your entire life. You could fall asleep at any time. Tonight, we are going to take an intimate look at sleeping disorders. Now, Samantha Henry.
Good evening. Imagine going to bed tonight and suffocating in your sleep. Tonight we're going to take you to a world few people have ever seen, where sleep is either a luxury or a curse. Brian has the story.
Joey Grant has been suffering from a disorder known as sleep apnea for the past 5 years. I was diagnosed with the obstructive sleep apnea 5 years ago when I started gaining weight.
When his snoring started, I didn't think anything of it.
When did you notice something was wrong?
When his snoring became gasping and choking, I would wake him up and tell him, but he wouldn't understand what I was talking about.
Also, sometimes then I woke up and I would feel out of breath, like I had just been running.
After that, we went to the doctor and she suggested a polysonogram.
Polysonogram is an overnight sleep test that studies sleep patterns.
Go.
What have the doctors told you about your condition? They've said it's caused by a block of airflow when the back of the throat relaxes. They've also said it's extremely dangerous because the snoring signifies a loss of air. Joey's condition weakens his frontal lobe, or the executive function of the brain. Meeting, planning, or completing tasks is a struggle. Another disorder that, by definition, is difficulty initiating or maintaining sleep is insomnia. Looking into the life of Breeman Miller, we will see that insomnia is a hard battle to win.
I started having trouble with sleep after my mom died in 2003. At the time, I wouldn't go to the doctor because I didn't think anything of it.
When were you diagnosed with insomnia?
Years ago, when I finally went to my doctor and told her that I couldn't fall asleep, and that there were times where I would just fall into these 5 or 10 minute naps throughout the day during work. I also told her that I had stopped focusing, I started forgetting things. My doctor said that this wasn't just sleep issues, but it was stress and it was causing insomnia. In Brianna's case, she started off with short-term or acute insomnia due to the stress of losing her mother and having to take care of her estate. Because it went untreated, it became chronic. The memory loss comes from the lack of sleep. Sleep deprivation strains the brain and body, so her hippocampus essentially hasn't had the rest it needs to function properly, causing the memory loss. Also because of the fogginess, she suffers from fatigue, slow motor skills, and reflexes, which are controlled by the medulla.
When do you get sleep, and what does it feel like when you wake up?
It feels like nothing has happened. I'm always tired, but it's more than what it sounds like. I don't go out because it's too much effort. I was fired from my job because I would forget what I was supposed to do, or I just couldn't focus.
Brianna has been diagnosed with chronic insomnia for the past 8 years, and she hasn't left her home in 3. A family member of Brianna, Taylor Miller, also struggles with a sleep disorder. Narcolepsy is a disease caused by the brain's inability to regulate the 24-hour cycle or circadian rhythm. This cycle is when our 24-hour biological clock helps our body temperature and awareness change at different times of the day. Melatonin, a hormone that is released from the pineal gland in the brain during darker settings. This hormone makes a person drowsy. Narcolepsy is a genetic mutation that affects the brain. What is sleep like for you?
I have trouble sleeping at night, and throughout the day I fall asleep at random times.
Random is the right word. People with narcolepsy pass through REM sleep in about 5 minutes, when it takes the average person about an hour to achieve this. Also, because of a symptom called cataplexy, Taylor can literally fall asleep anywhere.
Cataplexy is a sudden muscular weakness brought on by strong emotions. The signs can start off slowly with facial features, like the head drooping or knees buckling before sleep.
Explain an episode you've had before.
I was in school and I had gotten angry with one of my friends. I started to lose my vision and my knees buckled. I woke up in the nurse's office.
The occipital lobe controls sight, and vision loss during cataplexy comes from it weakening. For Taylor, when she passes through REM, or rapid eye movement, she skips 4 stages in the sleep cycle. There are 4 stages of consciousness: conscious, unconscious, sleep, and altered state. With sleep, there are 5 stages. The stage before the first is the alpha stage, which is a transition to stage 1 of light sleep that lasts 1 to 7 minutes. Stage 2 is when muscle tension, heart rate, and body temperature go down. The last 2 are caused by the somatosensory cortex. Stage 3 and 4 are known as NREM, not rapid eye movement. This stage is when the production hormones take place, and it's also the deepest stage of sleep. Stage 5 is REM. In this stage, people have vivid dreams and the body is paralyzed. Now, stages occur on a 9-minute cycle. What causes dreams and sleep is pons in the brain.
Taylor has received a treatment for her narcolepsy, but as of now, there is no cure.
If you'd like more information about sleep disorders, check our website at bac.com/3030. I'm Samantha Henry, here on BAC 3030.